In this video we will introduce Radio Buttons Part 2. We can use Android Widget Radio Button class to render radio buttons. And those radio buttons are usually grouped by the Android Widget Radio group. If radio buttons are in a group, then that means that when one radio button within a group is selected, all others are automatically deselected. Let's look at a basic example. I already have my radio group and radio button set up. I also have my button called Button Display Radio. Inside the Activity onCreate method, we're going to attach a click listener on a button. The first thing I'm going to do is get my radio group. And I'm going to find it using the ID. And now I'm also going to get the display button. Now I'm going to add a listener on my button. Now that I have my onClick listener created, I'm going to implement my onClick method. And within here I'm going to get the selected radio button from the radio group. And I'm going to call on the radio group a method called getCheckedRadioButtonID. And I'm going to find the radio button using the returned ID. Okay, now that I've got it using the selected ID, using a toast message, I'm going to get the text from the button that was clicked. I'm going to use this class as the context. I'm going to use a radio button to get the text, and I'm going to make the length short. And finally I'm going to show the toast message. Now let's demonstrate our functionality. I already have the Android emulator up and running. I also have already installed my app on the emulator. If you want to start the emulator and start the app, remember, right click on the project, select Run As, and then Android Application. I'm already on the screen with my radio buttons. I'm going to select Mail and say Display, and we can see the toast message display Mail. This concludes our discussion of Radio Buttons Part 2.